Hi guys, so when I tell people I'm 43 years old, the first question is normally, oh, what face creams you use? So people want a very simplistic answer rather than hearing me say, well, I've tried to get enough sleep and I don't drink. So I wanted to make a skincare video aimed at men. So when a guy walks into a pharmacy, he will see loads of products and eye gels and face creams which are aimed at women. So a lot of the time guys will think, will this work on me? And I don't think men are as exposed to the kind of products and ingredients as women are as well. So I wanted to first of all go through the routine I've been using for the last 15 years or so. I wanted to go through the products I've been reviewing for the last year, and finally I wanted to really go into specific anti-aging ingredients that should be part of your skincare routine if you're coming up to middle age or if you just want to, you know, look as good as you can. So before we even begin, I just want to say three really important things: that no face cream is going to miraculously give you a facelift. If you are looking at skin tightening or having a kind of lifted look, I've got two other videos about skin tightening and facial exercises. Point number two, don't even bother watching this video if you're not protecting your skin from the sun in the summer and the winter, because that is proven to be the biggest cause of aging. Point number three, you have to get into a routine. There's no point using one single product a couple of times a week. You've got to have a morning and evening routine, which you eventually will get used to. So let's look at some of the essential ingredients that should be in your skincare routine. First of all, peptides. Now, peptides are strings of amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. Now, our skin is made of protein, but especially the elastin fibres and the collagen, which makes our skin firm and plump and youthful. So when you apply peptide to your skin, it sends a message through to the skin cells saying we need more collagen production. Now, you need to use peptides for a few months before you see the results. Hyaluronic acid occurs naturally in the skin. It can hold 1,000 times its weight in water, which means when you apply it to your skin, it attracts moisture. It makes your skin look plump, hydrated, healthy and youthful. The good thing is that it's instant. As soon as you apply it, you get the effect and you don't need to wait. Retinol, or vitamin A, has two benefits. Firstly, it increases the rate of cellular turnover of our skin cells. So as we get older, that tends to slow down. So it basically means the newer, plumper, younger cells come to the surface faster, which makes our skin look younger. The second advantage is that we've got enzymes in our skin naturally which attack collagen and destroy it. So by applying retinol, it will stop that process. Now, retinol is not instant. You need to wait a few months to see the results, and it can irritate a lot of people. It can cause redness, dryness, flakiness, all kinds of reactions. You can get this on the internet, a quite low percentage, or if you go to a doctor or a dermatologist, he might prescribe or she might prescribe a very high percentage. Antioxidants. So everything in the universe is made of molecules, and molecules are made of pairs of atoms. When you've got a molecule with only one atom, it's called a free radical, and a free radical is like a mutant molecule bouncing around, taking chunks out of other molecules, trying to suck that second atom to itself to make itself balanced, but it can't. Now what happens is it takes a chunk out of another molecule and then it creates a second free radical, and then that free radical will go and take a chunk out of another cell and create another free radical, and so on and so on. So the effect on our skin is that it will be taking chunks out of our collagen and causing aging. The other interesting thing is that exposure to sun creates free radicals, which goes back to what I said at the beginning about using sun cream. So what do? If you apply an antioxidant, so this could be a cream, it could also be like vitamin C, but you apply this to your skin and it provides a second atom to the free radical, it calms it down and it stops attacking other molecules, and everyone's happy. I want to show you what I've been using the last 15-20 years, which has worked for me. So morning and evening I wash my face with this Dr. Organic Rose face wash. It's effective, it will take grease off your skin, suntan lotion, and it leaves your skin not feeling dry. It also softens your beard. So I'll shave, and then after I shave I will use this face scrub, which is made by Number 7, and it's called Total Renewal Microdermabrasion Exfoliator, and it basically has particles in it which you can really feel taking off the dead skin cells. I think when a guy wants a face scrub, he doesn't want something that's gentle, he wants something that's really gonna be effective, and it kind of leaves your skin a little bit pink. You can feel your circulation's working really well. I use that. I'll rinse that off, then I will use a clay face mask. So this is called Be Detoxed, which I'm using at the moment, but I've used various ones. So I'll leave that on for 10-15 minutes, then I'll rinse that off, and finally I will put on moisturiser. So the moisturiser I found the best is the Ordinary, and it's called Natural Factors Moisturiser. The thing with moisturiser is that if you apply it every day, your skin gets so used to it, it stops producing its own moisture. And you kind of get in a vicious circle. It's like when you have a shower and your skin feels dry, then you need to apply more of the product and you get stuck. So to avoid that, you need to use a product which contains things like hyaluronic acid or natural moisturising factor or SQUALANE, which are all found naturally in our skin and won't stop our skin from producing its own moisture. So if you look at the products in the pharmacy that you'll find, like Olay, Nivea, all these kind of ones, this is an aloe vera, none of them work. I've tried them, and you know, after a couple of months you think this isn't actually doing anything, and a lot of the time they will say stuff like, I mean, this is a Dr. Organic facial serum, and it says it has peptides and vitamin E and blah blah blah, and I used this for a couple of months and it didn't really do anything. And then I was thinking to myself, well, it says it's got peptides, it says it's got hyaluronic acid. How do I know? If you're not a chemist, if you can't understand the ingredients, how do you know what's in it? Wouldn't it be better to buy the individual ingredients yourself and just apply them, then you know what you're getting? So I found a website called The Ordinary, which basically sells the individual kind of components that you need for your anti-aging skin routine. So that's where I went, and I'd recommend it for men for several reasons. Firstly, it's really, really reasonably priced. None of the products are more than, like, I don't know, £9 or £10 compared to a department store or a dermatologist's office. It would be hundreds of pounds. Secondly, the packaging is really masculine. I mean, you can have this in your bathroom cabinet and it's going to look completely, you know, masculine and fine. The third reason, it's glass. It's all recyclable, which is really important. And finally, it's effective. It works. So I'm going to go through some of the products which I've tested to let you know what works. So first of all, this is the Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid. Amazing. So you can use this on its own. You can use this after a moisturiser. You can mix it with your own moisturiser if you want to. Really good product. Makes my skin look amazing, soft, hydrated. If you've got fine lines, it will kind of puff them up and disguise them. Amazing. And again, this is like £4. Next product is their peptide product, is called Buffet. So this, the first time I applied this, it made my skin look like it was airbrushed, and peptides don't work immediately. So, you know, this had such an amazing effect. And again, you can combine this with other moisturisers. So you can put this on and then put moisturiser over the top, or combine it with other things. Next thing is retinol. So they've got many different types of retinol. I haven't tried them all. The first one I tried was called Gran Active Retinoid 5%. So this I tried because I've never used retinol before and I know it can irritate skin. This one, they say it doesn't have any side effects. So I've used this for 7 months and it's true, it never irritated my skin or anything. The problem is it's very, very oily. So you apply this at night time, you go to bed, and most of this will be absorbed by your pillow. It won't actually go into your skin. It's really greasy. My skin looks good, but whether this is actually the reason, I don't know why. So I tried another retinol they make called Retinol 0.5%, which is this one. Now, again, my skin looked good after using this, but it does give you a reaction. The reason some of these are in brown glass is to protect it from the UV light, because it reacts with light. So for example, I put this on a few days ago and went to bed, woke up in the morning, pulled back the curtain, the sun was coming through the window, and the sun reacted with this on my skin, and it looked like I was sunburnt. My face was bright red, but it does show that these are active ingredients and they are effective. Next product I tried is the antioxidant. So this one is called RESVERATROL, if I'm pronouncing that right, with ferulic acid 3%. So this, again, from the very first time I applied this, it made my skin look really flawless and amazing. So really good product. The reason I chose this is because the antioxidant actually keeps working. It goes on and on and on. So I like that idea. I would generally use this when I go into central London because there's a lot of pollution. I'd come home, I'd apply this before I go to bed and then wash it off in the morning. So the last thing I want to mention is mandelic acid 10%. So with these chemical peels, they're an alternative to using a face scrub. So you would put this on before you go to sleep, and then in the morning you'd wake up and your face would be kind of refreshed, and you know, that layer of dead skin would be removed if you use it regularly. So you can use this as often as you want, but again, if you have sensitive skin, it may irritate you. I've used it a few times and my skin really does look very clean, but I kind of prefer using a facial scrub because, I don't know, I just like the physical sensation. It feels like you're cleaning your skin more, but this is really good. So if I said to the average guy, okay, here's your skincare products, you'd say, what the hell are you talking about? I'm never going to have time to use this and it's too complicated. But you get into a routine, and the thing is that you mix them as well. So with the hyaluronic acid, you can mix that with your moisturiser. You can apply the peptide and your moisturiser and then put some of the hyaluronic acid on top. The dark bottles, which are the oil-based formulations, and these are the water-based formulations, can also be combined. So you can apply a peptide before you go to bed, and then you apply the retinol over the top if you wanted to. So what I do generally is in the morning I'll use a peptide and then maybe put some moisturiser over the top of it. And then in the evening I would alternate between a retinoid or the antioxidant. And sometimes I might use the acid peel as well. So every week you're getting, you know, benefits of different products, and you just kind of rotate it. So it sounds a lot, but you do get into a routine and you do end up knowing what works for your skin. Another interesting thing about using these products is that you don't need eye gel. You don't need to buy a separate product. I think that's kind of a marketing ploy to get you to spend more money, because if you've got the active ingredients you need, you apply it all over your face, under your eyes. You don't really need a separate ingredient. Same thing with moisturisers. Like when I first went to the Ordinary website, I was expecting a moisturiser for dry skin, a moisturiser for aging skin, but basically you buy what you want, and most of these oily ingredients moisturise your skin anyway, so you don't really need to think that much about moisturisers. So I just wanted to zoom in slightly so you can actually see the results of me using these products for almost a year. So it's no point just using one of them, you have to use all of them, and you have to make an effort to get into the routine. I know it sounds like a lot, but you will get used to it and you will form a routine. So I would say my skin looks a lot better. I've never used products that have made my skin look this good before. It does kind of look like it's got a glow. That sounds a bit of a cliche, but it looks fresh, healthy, it looks plump, and yeah, younger than before. So I can definitely recommend combining all the products that I've recommended. The other couple of tips I want to say is that firstly, if you're a guy, then especially if you spend a lot of time in the sun, you do get lines on the back of your neck. So after you've applied this stuff to your face, don't forget your neck and the back of your neck, because I found this has really been a huge help to the lines on the back of my neck. The other thing I do after my face and my neck, I put some on the back of my hand, because that's another area where you kind of, it shows your age. So I basically put some on the back of my hand, all of the products I'm talking about, you know, and that is another good tip. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you've got any comments, please post them below. I'll try to answer. Thank you for watching and have a great day.